Alright guys, so now we're going to do, I just want to introduce to you real quick the unit circle. I probably when I come back after hospital and introduce it to you again, but it's really big deal. The unit circle in trigonometry, we're going to be using this a lot, and so it's really important that you understand how to read it. It's super easy, you just have to pay close attention and you'll see how easy it is to use it. Just know we're going to provide this for you during the school year. Those of you that take higher math classes in college or maybe here calculus, this is not always provided to you. A lot of times you have to memorize it or know how to come up with it. Like on on-ramps pre-calculus, we had to learn how to develop this whole circle. But for us, lucky for us, it'll be provided for us. So you just have to know how to use it. Okay. So just really quick, again, here's the angles, right, of all these, the degrees of all these angles. And there's the equivalent radians, okay? So you're able to convert, you know how you're learning how to convert back and forth. If it's one of these angles, then you don't need to convert, because like if they say, how many radians is 60 degrees? Well, you'd say, oh, it's pi over 3. Or if they say, how many degrees is pi over 6? Pi over 6 radians is 30 degrees. So this is really important you understand. These are called, right? These are all radians, pi over 2, 2 pi over 3, 2 pi, 3 pi over 4. Those are radians, and then the degrees are inside. Okay. Okay, so all these other numbers on the outside, okay, and this is what I'm about to teach you, those refer to the cosine, sine, and tangent values, okay? And they're in this order, so let me see if I can write on this. Cosine is the x, and then sine is the y, okay? So let me give you an example. For example, if they asked us, what is the sine, I can't write out there. Sorry, I'll have to write with this. So if they asked us, what is the sine of 60 degrees? Okay. So if you look, sine is the y value. So I go to 60 degrees right here, and then here's the two values for 60 degrees. This is the x value, this is the y value. So the sine would be the y value. So the y value would be square root of 3 over 2. Okay, because that's the y value. Let me do another one. Let's say they asked you, what is the cosine of 150 degrees? Pause the video real quick, that way you can see if you understand. You probably already got the hang of it. But real quick, so I look for 150. There's 150. Cosine is the x value there. So at 150, here's the x, here's the y. So x is negative square root of 3 over 2. Be very careful about the positive when they're positive and they're negative, because notice they're all kind of the same values. They're either positive or negative though. So anyways, that's cosine, that's sine. And then tangent. Tangent is all the values in the purple box. So all these values, those are all the tangent values. So for example, if I asked you, what is the tangent of 270 degrees? You can pause it, that way you could try it real quick. But that's just, here's 270. There's the purple box. UND means it's undefined. Undefined. So if you push that value in your calculator, you will get error, right? Because it's not defined. And so probably some of you might be thinking, oh, I don't really need this chart because I can just plug these values in the calculator, which is partially true. You could, but they're not going to come out like this in exact form. They're going to come out in decimal form. And once you get used to this chart, you can actually pull those values out faster than it takes you to plug them in the calculator. So now let me do it in the other direction. Let's just do a few radian values. It works the exact same way, but let's say you had the sine of 7 pi over 4. So I look for 7 pi over 4, okay, which is right here. Okay. And again, sine is the y value. So y value is right there. This is the x, this is the y. Always this is the x, this is the y. So the answer to that is negative square root of 2 over 2. Okay. Let's do a cosine one. Let's do the cosine. I don't know. How about 3 pi over 2? Okay, pause the video. That way you can answer it just to see, make sure you understand it. But again, cosine is the x value. So I look for 3 pi over 2 right there. The x value is 0. So really the only way students mess this up is they forget who is the x, who is the y. I'll try to have these printed for you. And when I do, hopefully you can write x and y there if it's missing. Okay. And last one, let's do a tangent value. So let's say they did the tangent of 2 pi. Okay, again, pause the video, that way you can answer it for yourself. But I look for 2 pi. 2 pi is here, and then the tangent value is in the purple box. So the answer is 0. Okay. Another thing I can tell you real quick, if you notice here, ASTC, there's an acronym for that. All students, yeah, it's all students take calculus, is how to remember that. What do they mean? A stands for all. So all the values for sine, cosine, and tangent are positive. If you notice, they're all positive. Here, S stands for sine. So only the sine values are positive, so only the y values. Everything else is negative. Okay. T stands for tangent, so only the tangent values are positive. The x and the y are negative, which is cosine and sine. And then C for calculus, which just stands for cosine. Cosine is the x. That means only the x values are positive. All the other ones are negative. Okay. And again, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, 3, 4. So Ms. Hassler made this really nicely color-coded for you, so hopefully it helps you guys. You will have it on the test, and you'll have questions like that on the test. And again, if radians or degrees are on here, then you don't need to convert with the formula, but not all the values are here, right? Like if I said, how many radians is 185? Well, that's not here. You have to still know how to convert back and forth.